Hello, everybody. I know it's been a long time. You probably don't even remember who I am.
Remember me?
Sure don't.
But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and do a vlog since it's been so long and talk about a few things, talk about channel update, talk about where I've been, side projects I'm working on. So yeah, let's get started. So first, I want to talk about why I have not made any videos, and that is because 2020 just sucked so bad. um, I'm very grateful I have my health. My wife and I didn't get sick. We didn't lose our jobs, but it was still a really crappy year for everybody. A lot of personal things that were going on in my life that just kind of took my focus away from working on side projects and YouTube videos. YouTube videos do take a lot of time, a lot of planning, a lot of writing and practicing, and then recording and editing, and it's just a whole lot of things. So that was definitely very low on my priority list. So that's where I've been. But for the channel moving forward in 2021, I do want to start putting together some more videos. I don't know if I will do any more series. The reason being because when I do a series, I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to, I need to do the next video, I need to do the next video. I haven't done one in 2 weeks, I have to get something out. And I feel like that pressure may reduce the quality of my videos, and I don't want that to happen. So I do have plans for individual videos. I want to do a somewhat longer video, maybe like a 30-minute video on Angular. I think Angular is still a very good option today in 2021. We use it at my full-time position. I still really like it, and I want to kind of showcase all the features that it has in a very short and simple way of just explaining it. I know a lot of people, when they're new to web development, they jump into React. It's a natural. I know JavaScript, I can now build apps with React. But I personally like the way Angular does things better in a lot of ways, with the file structure, the way the CLI can do all the stuff that I think as a beginner you see all this extra code and you're like, I don't know what any of this is doing. It's got a high learning curve, but the CLI kind of does a lot of that for you. So I just kind of want to showcase that and give you an option as another tool that you may use in your next project. I also want to do some videos about freelancing. I've definitely learned a lot the last couple of years, especially in 2020. It was a very strange year for a lot of things, especially freelancing. I did have a client that I had to essentially fire. So that was a huge learning experience. So I would like to make a video based on that, just to kind of talk about what to look for, what not to do. And towards the end of the year, I started getting a lot of calls for web design and WordPress development, but a lot of it never really panned out. So, a lot of freelancing is, not just coding; it's sales and marketing and knowing how to talk to clients and know what they want. So I'd like to kind of talk about that in a separate video. As for side projects, I have a couple side projects I've been working on the last couple of years. One is the Roni watch face for Fitbit. It's previously been available on the Versa, which I am currently wearing, Versa 2 and Versa Lite. With the recent devices, Versa 3 and since they rolled out, they have a new operating system, and it's changed quite a few things that the older watches like I have are not getting. So with the 5.0 release, it required me to kind of split up the code into basically two separate projects. So I kind of sat on that for a long time, and then one of my users, Richard Umney, I believe he's over in the UK. He actually he doesn't work as a developer, but he's kind of self-taught, and he said, "Hey, like I would really like this on my synths that I just got for Christmas." And I said, "Oh, it's probably gonna be a few more months." And he's like, "Well, I'll work on it." And it's like, "Okay." So that's the great thing about open source, is he's able to get a lot of things done working for the synths, and then I kind of came in and took his code and used that as the point of splitting the code. So now the repository is split into kind of a few different pieces. There's the 4.2, which is the operating system for the older devices, 5.0, which is the operating system for the new devices, and then a common directory that has a lot of shared JavaScript. So I think it's a good solution to be able to keep maintaining the app on all these different devices, with a common set of code. But that is now available. So if you have recently purchased a Versa 3 or since and you want to try out Roni, it's available in the store. My other side project is, of course, the customizer user interface. I did just tweet recently, and maybe some of you figured it out. I think Lawrence did, that this was related to the customizer user interface. I basically said that writing a plugin using the settings API in WordPress is poop, and writing it with the REST API with custom endpoints is cake. And the reason why I said that was because I've been working on customized user interface for about a year and a half. Well, not really working on it. It's been very delayed. But I had this idea for this app, and it's basically split into two pieces. You have the part that's the UI that the user is really working as, like on the plugin side, and then there's the backend portion that actually builds all the settings and all the sections and everything within the WordPress customizer. So the problem was really on the user interface side. I originally built the app using the settings API, just standard PHP, and the more it grew, the more I just really didn't like it. There were problems with the view where I have a lot of these if statements saying, like, if the post object has this, we're now editing a section. If the post object has this, we're creating a section. We're editing a control. And the more I tried to refactor it and make it more into more of like a reusable parts and PHP, I think it just got even more confusing. So it's hard to onboard somebody new that says, like, hey, I like this plugin, I would like to contribute to it, but the code is so crazy that I don't even know where to start. So over the holiday break, I was doing a lot of thinking. I didn't code at all for like 2 weeks. It was actually a really nice change of pace to just like not look at code, but just kind of like, think about it without actually coding. And I really thought it'd be really nice if I could build this in JavaScript. And the reason why I say that is because I'm much more confident as a JavaScript developer as I am PHP, especially with PHP on top of WordPress using the settings API, which has been around for like 50 years or something. So, I started thinking about it, and then I started playing with the REST API and actually building endpoints. And I've recently built a kind of proof of concept with using React to fuel the whole UI and using REST API to talk back and save everything to the database, and then keeping what was originally in there in PHP to build the customizer. And I've really liked it so far. I'm still not a huge fan of JSX, but I think in this scenario, it works really well as opposed to something like Angular, which is a much larger framework. I don't need routing or any of these dependency injection or anything. I just need a bit of reactivity in the UI, sending things over REST API, and yeah, so it just it's working really well. Still a little bit more to work on to kind of prove out my idea, but I think this is going to really allow me to do a lot more with customized user interface. One thing I've always wanted to do is take the part that actually works with the customizer, pull it out, and make it into its own composer package. And what this would allow me to do is allow other users to take this composer package and they can write their own JSON to make their own customizer controls without writing all the PHP, and using that composer package to build it for them. And with that, you could also use the plugin to design it using a UI and then export the JSON and just use that within your theme, within your plugin. And then it's one less plugin that's installed on your clients or your own WordPress site. So I think that this kind of moves me a lot closer to that. Back in the fall, I was working on an import-export feature for the customized user interface, but I was really struggling with it because of the way that my plugin, with the way I was doing it, was storing things in the database. Converting that to JSON wasn't too difficult, but getting JSON back into that paradigm was just a nightmare. So that, along with the whole issue with the views, really led to me to be like, this project just has so much technical debt. It's hard for me, even the person who created it, to work on it, and I just wasn't happy with it. So really happy with the way it's going so far. and hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be showcasing all the existing features, but within like the new, what I'm calling version 2.0 for the customizer design. So that's my update. Thank you all for all the new subscribers that have joined since my last video, which was months and months and months ago. If you do like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you could, I'd like to know where you're all from. So leave a comment down below to say where you're watching this video from in the world. And yeah, have a great day. And thanks again for watching. Till next time, have a good one.